Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
The cleanup continues across Metro Detroit and another round of severe weather. Thanks for joining us this noon. I'm Rhonda Walker. Parts of Macomb County were hit really hard by the storms yesterday. In fact, the National Weather Service confirms that it was a tornado that touched down in Fraser. Shantae Passmore joins us with a look at all the damage.
Hey there, this is what folks living in Fraser are dealing with. Right now, we are near Klein and 15 Mile Roads, right by Fraser High School. You can see this trampoline caught up in the wire. And whenever you see something like that, I think it shows you Mother Nature at play, just how powerful she was when she rolled through the area yesterday, but not too far from where we're standing, just across the way over there on the street. You can see that tree over there snapped in half like a twig. Part of it falling to that person's yard. Looks like it narrowly clipped that person's home, but it's unclear right now what kind of damage, if any, they're dealing with on their property. And meanwhile, Harrison Township is dealing with cleanup following yesterday's deluge. In fact, the heavy rain led to this mobile home complex to once again be underwater. Our cameras did capture some people having to resort to using kayaks to navigate around the neighborhood. And our team spoke to a man over the phone because he couldn't even step outside of his house.
No, I'm not walking out there now. Honestly, every time it rains hard, we have our corner flooded, and it's never been this bad.
And back out here in Fraser, we are learning that the National Weather Service plans to send out a survey team to assess the damage like what you see all around me and then determine the force of the twister. We are in Fraser. I'm Shantae Passmore, Local 4.
All right, Shantae, thank you. And at last check with DTE Energy, they are still reporting 6,000 customers are without power. So hopefully we can get that power back on before the 90-degree temperatures arrive. As we take a look out at conditions right now, looking kind of gloomy in Mount Clemens. And we do want to get a look at what the forecast for today looks like.
We've been seeing the footage and photos of powerful storms that raced through southeast Michigan yesterday afternoon and also in the evening. And in a quick amount of time, in the afternoon hours, we picked up a lot of rainfall in Macomb County. Now, a good portion of this accumulation was in the afternoon. We picked up around 3-4 inches, and by the end of the night, some of those totals were in excess of 5 inches. So that's why we had the flash flooding here in Metro Detroit. Now, we have those temps that are going to increasingly get up into the mid-70s after a very cool start today, but the cool air is something that we do not mind. We're going to be topping out around 76 degrees this afternoon. And I say it's a good thing because we had that warmth that, we have the power outages, and all this hot weather that we have in our forecast is really going to take a toll on people. Thankfully, people don't have to deal with that today because of the power outages that some of us are experiencing. So we do have those temps that are going to be in the mid-70s today. I'm going to talk about coming up the hot weather that is in the forecast, and it is going to be something that we have not seen in a while. That is all coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Ron, thank you. Let's get to breaking news. President Trump has granted TikTok's parent company ByteDance a 90-day extension to sell the popular video app to a U.S. buyer. This marks the third deadline extension, allowing the Chinese-owned app to continue operating in the United States. The president announced the move moments ago on Truth Social. The White House says that the decision was made to ensure Americans retain access to the platform. New here at noon, a disturbing update from Fowlerville. A reckless driver has left a trail of destruction at a local cemetery. Police say that the driver sped through the grounds, damaging nearly 20 headstones. Some of the destroyed markers dated all the way back to World War II and are now irreplaceable. The damage runs into the thousands of dollars. Officers have identified the person responsible. Police are reminding everyone to never get behind the wheel if you are impaired or too tired to drive. Instead, call a friend, family member, or ride-share service. Prosecutors have dropped drunk driving charges against two former Fitzgerald school officials. Former Superintendent Holly Stange and former Food Services Director Amanda Carroll were due in court on Wednesday, but the hearing was postponed. Police say that the two women were caught smoking marijuana in Carroll's vehicle near Fitzgerald High School on December 20th. When officers stopped them, they allegedly found a handgun in Stange's car. Both women now face charges for having marijuana on school grounds, while Stange faces an additional weapons charge. Prosecutors say that they're focusing on the more serious and probable offenses, but the operating while intoxicated charges could be refiled if new evidence emerges. The case returns to court on August 14th. Sheriff's deputies are investigating 2 separate murder cases in Monroe County. In Bedford Township, investigators say a 17-year-old girl was found shot multiple times on Saturday at a home on West Stearns Road. The victim, Gwendolyn Faye Smith, was found alongside 33-year-old Rhiney Jacob Least. Now, deputies say that Least worked as a bowling coach at Smith's High School, but was employed through a bowling alley, not the school itself. Investigators believe that Least shot and killed Smith before taking his own life. The sheriff's office says that the two met through the bowling league and that Least had recently resigned from his coaching position. We are also have some new information on the 2 teens that were found dead in Raisinville Township. The sheriffs confirmed the 16-year-olds were dating and that the teen boy left notes in the car about a plan to take both of their lives. Over on clickondetroit.com, we do have a list of mental health resources all across Metro Detroit. You can scan the QR code on your screen. That'll take you to the page on our website. And help is also available 24/7 by calling or texting the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. SpaceX's Starship exploded in Texas on Wednesday during preparations for its 10th flight test. The vehicle exploded, sending a massive fireball into the dark Texas skies. SpaceX says that the Starship experienced a major anomaly before starting to test flight around 11 p.m. The social media post went on to say that all personnel were safe and that there were no hazards to residents or nearby communities down on the ground. The company says that it is working with local officials to respond to the explosion. As President Trump weighs joining Israel in its fight with Iran, thousands of U.S. troops are stationed in northern Iraq and along the Iranian border in what could be and would become the front lines in a U.S. attack. We do want to get to NBC's Keir Simmons with more from Iraq.
Hey there, we are around 2 hours from the Iranian border, and in that direction is one of the U.S. bases closest to Iran. Around 3,000 international forces are based there. Here in Iraq, pro-Iranian militia threatening U.S. forces here in the region if the U.S. intervenes in the war with Iran. Meanwhile, in Israel, an Iranian rocket hitting the hospital, the Soroka hospital in southern Israel. Israel now saying more than 65 Israelis have been injured overnight. In Iran, Israel continuing to target the Iranian nuclear program overnight as President Trump weighs up whether to use those bunker-busting bombs that may be able to destroy the Fordo nuclear site inside Iran. Israel's defense minister putting a different light on it, saying that the supreme leader can no longer be the ruler of Iran. Keir Simmons, NBC News, Erbil.
A special giveaway just in time for the upcoming warm-up and the start of summer for Metro Detroit families, and it's happening this afternoon. Here on Clinton Metro Parks is hosting a life jacket giveaway, and it begins at 3 o'clock at the Bull Family YMCA right on Broadway in downtown Detroit. The Metro Parks are giving away 500 free life jackets for both children and adults. So anyone attending is asked to park in the Opera House Parking Center, which is also on Broadway right next door. Well, today you have an opportunity to get a new job, trade up your career in the skilled trades industry. A live look in Southfield, where it is packed today with over 50 different employers looking to hire. This is all part of our Local 4 and Hired in Michigan, as we have teamed up for this Michigan Skilled Careers Job Fair. Radisson Hotel on Telegraph in Southfield is the place to go until 6:30. Face-to-face opportunities to interview with employers. There's a long list of big employers that are there. You can explore open jobs before you head over to the fair today. JobFairGiant.com is where to go. They also say bring printed resumes so that they can review them right there on the spot, not on your phone, and of course to dress professionally.